Welcome, everybody. We're glad to have you out tonight. I'm Mary Jo Hilliker. I'm a local presidential here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and I love being here on Tuesday Night Live. How are you guys, everybody? Everybody great tonight? Amen to that. All right, people, we're here tonight, and we got some guests in the audience, and that's always super. We're here tonight to learn a little bit about a company called Mannatech. What is it? What can it mean for you? How can it change your life? More or less, I should say, how can you change your own life, right? Because it's your choice. And I just feel blessed to be able to come here tonight and share with you about this wonderful company I've been a part of for the last 15 years. I know some of you think I only look about 15, maybe act only 15, but that's okay. I've been around a long time. And this company has blessed me in so many ways. I could just sit up here all night tonight and tell you all those many ways that this company's blessed me. And I'm sure there are plenty in the audience. Raise your hand if this company has blessed you. Yeah, look at that. Woo! Everybody's got their... Absolutely. So let's talk about Mannatech. You know, a lot of people brand new tonight, and I don't know why you're here, but probably somebody dragged you kicking and screaming, right? Any of those on the audience? Great. Or somebody said, hey, come on, let's go out to dinner tonight, and they just happened to mosey by the corporate headquarters to drop you in on this meeting. That's called tricking people into it. Anyway, but I know that some of you have come for all different kinds of reasons. You've heard about our real products, you know, the phenomenal products that Mannatech has that really help make a difference in people's health. Or you've heard about our passion, which is all about helping save children all over the world. Or perhaps you said, you know what, it's time for me to look at finding a income stream that will make a difference in my life, whatever level that income that is. And clearly you're in the right spot if that's the reason you're here. So let's jump in and say, who is this company, Mannatech? Well, first thing we need to know is who we are, the length of time you want. When you get involved with the company or start looking at products, you don't want to start with that company that was just started a week ago, do you, right? Because what happens then is these companies tend to go in and out of business like you open and shut your front door. So you want to make sure if you're going to make a dedication and be a part of something, you want to make sure it's real. And Mannatech is real. I mean, we talk about real food, real technology, real passion, but I'm going to tell you, the company itself is real. It's here to stay. And this company was really birthed out of prayer, started in 1994, so how long is that? I guess next year we have our 20-year anniversary. Is that right, everybody? Wow, is that awesome? That's going to be cool. So that's great. So you've been here for a long time. This company is in 21 different countries, so we're all around the world, and you know, if you decide to do the business, you can go into each and every one of those countries, and just, it's a seamless downline, so you can put anyone anywhere you want to in your organization to grow that organization, no matter what country they're from. So that's exciting. And over the span of years that they've already been in existence, they've had $4 billion worth of sales. Does that just... One time I was up here speaking, and I told everybody they've paid out $4 billion. And somebody said, they had to correct me on that one. I thought I already got $3 billion of it, and you guys were just sharing the other billion amongst you. But no, so $4 billion in sales, but that's a big number. I mean, that's the B word, the billion number. So that's pretty awesome. And we have over 400,000 associates. I think I just picked up, last month I picked up another 100. Is that pretty good? Yeah, that's pretty booming, right? We got another 100 that came on board, so we have 400,100 associates in the field. So that's pretty cool. And these are the people that are just out there that are just decided to join our mission. So it gives you a little background of our company and our model and our kind of our philosophy and our approach today really focuses on what we call extreme food makeovers. And we're going to talk a little bit about that later, but that's really our mantra that we use. We believe in extreme food makeovers, because if there's one thing we need out there is what? We need to change our foods. So let's jump in, and we're going to talk about the history of the company and the founders. When the founders first started this company, they really saw two major problems out there. Number one was the fact that our food supply is really compromised. We're not getting the nutrition that our bodies need. We all understand that. We can just look at the statistics around that, know that if you just continue eating what we eat from our grocery stores, where are you going to end up? Well, you're going to end up where we are today. And I don't know how many of you saw in January that study that came out, but there's a study that was published in a major magazine that said, you know, the United States now is ranked last in out of all the 17 developed nations. We're last in longevity. In other words, we have the shortest longevity of all of them. And they took that study even further, and they found out that people under the age of 50 live the shortest lifespan in the United States as well. So it's not just about elderly, it's about youngsters, that we have more deaths that occur per capita prior to the age of 50 than any of these other countries. Now, we have the most sophisticated healthcare system in the world, and we're paying for it, aren't we? Twice as much as any other country in the world. Our cost of healthcare is twice as much. Yet, we have the shortest longevity. So go back to what are we doing to our bodies to cause that to happen? Because it has to be something we're putting into, and that's about our food supply. The genetic modification, the process, pasteurizing, synthesizing. I mean, it's bad. And secondly, they looked at the problem of children around the world. There are a lot of orphans around the world. There are a lot of children around the world that really don't have much of a chance of life. In fact, the statistic today is 1 child dies every 6 seconds of malnutrition in this world. And some of you go, oh, that's that picture of that Biafra child or whatever. I'm going to tell you, it's the person next door to you. They may not be dying at that pace, but they suffer the same condition. It's called malnutrition. So these being two huge issues in our world, those are the issues that we want to look at. And how is this company going after these issues? Well, our first one was we talked about food's not what it used to be, right? A lot of what we see in the supermarket, I would argue, is really not food. It's what we call edible food-like substances. And many of you have seen these documentaries. I had a gal one time, she was walking door to door. She thought, well, maybe I can market Mannatech door to door. Could you imagine knocking on doors in your neighborhood? This is what she was doing. And she told me, boy, I tried this door to door. And she said, I went to this one house and I said, you know, we're in the neighborhood and we're sharing with people a brand new nutritional supplement that can make a difference in your family's life. And the people said, wow, we just got done watching Food Matters. I said, God had you on that timing, right? It was perfect. She ended up getting all 3 of them started on the products. That was awesome. But the reality is there are a lot of documentaries out there that explain to us how badly our foods have been suffering over the years. And we're all familiar with them, whether it's, you know, the Food Inc. or the Food Matters or, you know, what's that, super size it? Oh, that was disgusting stuff. Right. And the statistic also tells that 90% of the money we spend on foods today is on processed foods. And that's a pretty incredible statistic. Because really, you know, when I teach and train people how to eat right, I outline for them what they need to start pulling out of their diets, and they look at me and they go, Mary Jo, I'll have mutiny on the bounty if I change all that in my house. And I said, well, just do a little bit at a time and watch what happens. Over a year or two, you can eventually weed that out. But I tell people all the time, I said, you know, if you eat bad about 10 or 15, maybe even 20% of the time, the 80% is going to sustain you, right? Because none of us can be perfect. Anyone in here perfect eaters? Quit raising your hands. No, I'm kidding. I guess everybody in here likes that hot fudge sundae once in a while. Some of you are still eating French fries every once in a while. But, you know, because the taste buds just are exhilarated. But the idea is that if we're up 90% of our money is getting processed foods, we got that flip-flop the wrong direction. We need to be eating healthy stuff 90% of the time, and that's going to serve our body. So we have huge problems in our food supply. So Mannatech's goal is let's bring new life to the foods we eat. And how does Mannatech do that? Well, Mannatech really took advantage of an incredible discovery that was made in the late 1970s. And it was the discovery of the science of glycobiology. And some of you have not heard of that. But that science came out of a discovery that on the outside of our cells, every cell in our body, are simple groupings of simple sugars, simple monosaccharides. And they now call that the glycosylation on the outside of the cell. And the list up here tells you what are those 8 simple saccharides that are found on the outside of every one of our cells. And they're critical for our bodies to function. And we'll look at some of the news articles and publications that have come out since this discovery was made. But the idea is that we need these in our body every single day because they make up parts of our human cells. Some people think food in our body is just a source of energy. Well, is it in fact a source of energy? Of course, that's how we give our body energy. But the food we eat also are the parts that we use for our factory because our cells die off. Some of our cells die off every 3 hours, some of them every 3 days, some of them every 3 months, you know, and in fact, our entire body, I learned this when I was working with chiropractors, our entire body turns over every 7 years. Did you know that? 7 years, I'm a new person. So I said, I'm voting on blonde hair, blue eyes. No, that's part of your DNA. That's your genes. The gene matter replicates itself. So you're not going to come back looking differently. But your cells are recreated. So if we can help, this is what's so exciting to me. No matter what age I work with people, I go, if you help your cells be healthier right now, when they go through the apoptosis, that's way science for you guys. That's called, when they kill off, they're killed off and regenerate, that's called apoptosis. They create healthier cells. So no matter what condition you're in today, you always have an opportunity to be better tomorrow. Isn't that neat? It's kind of like your spiritual walk. It's kind of like your intelligence. It's kind of like your financial situation, right? Thank goodness for all that. We can always be better and look forward. So these saccharides are critical. You put them in your body and you have better building blocks. So guess what happens? Your cells communicate better. You can create a better you. So Mannatech saw this and they said, wow, what a critical opportunity, because you know what? Those saccharides aren't in our daily diets today. You go to the grocery store, you're not going to find them. There are only 2 of them that are even closely prevalent on the grocery store shelves. The rest of them are void of our diets. Why did we used to get them before? Because we used to be hunter-gatherers. We used to eat a lot of vegetation. And that's where God put them. He put them in the blood of plants. These saccharides flow freely in many, many plants all over all the continents. But we don't gather anymore, do we? Or what we gather is not the right stuff to put in our bodies. So Mannatech took this opportunity and they said, you know what, let's formulate a product. This is back in 1996. They formulated a product, all natural, that had all these simple monosaccharides in it, and that product's called Ambertose. And this product is the flagship product of Mannatech. It's a product that's so wonderful to go and share with people, because you know what's so cool about it? Everybody needs it. And isn't that a fun thing when you go and you meet with people? I know if you ever choose to market something or share something with somebody, isn't it great that it doesn't matter who you walk up to talk to, you know one thing, they need this. And that's a great thing, because it opens up the floodgates to be able to share with anybody and everybody. And Ambertose is just an incredible product. It's been tested and proven. And in fact, the year it came out, it won the Biochemistry Discovery of the Year Award. And it's been the subject of many, many, many studies. In fact, everything on the right-hand side of the screen here, I couldn't tell you and I couldn't post there unless it was an independent third-party study that established this claim. So what you're seeing here is the things that have been proven that these products do in the human body. They increase your cellular communication. They improve cognitive function, memory, concentration, attentiveness. I think those are all important for us as we get older, right? Or some of us aren't aging at all. That's what people tell me. Mary Jo, you act just like you did when you were 12. Okay, so yeah, memory, concentration, attentiveness. And then mood and irritability, improves mood and decreases irritability. I always tell people that's why I get my husband on it all the time, right? It supports our immune system function and our digestive system function. And I'm telling you, I work with so many people that are part of the sick care industry, and those last 2 make up the majority of conditions that they either have a defective immune system or they have a defective digestive system, and it causes so many repercussions in the system. So we need to have these saccharides in our body, and what a terrific product Ambertose is. It's awesome. And you can look at this science just exploded. It's being taught in every med school today. There's international, national conventions that go on all the time in the field of glycobiology. It's really exciting to see how this has exploded. And so you can say, well, Mary Jo, what about these days? Because some of this stuff that you've shown, it comes from, 10 years ago or whatever, but you have to recognize that just last year, 2012, October, this whole study was published. It was like 127 pages long on transforming glycoscience, a roadmap for the future. And what the National Academy of Science said was, you know what? We have not given this science the proper attention. We need to bring it to the forefront of what we're studying, what we're applying, because it has a major impact on the health of this world. Is that a great thing? That's 2012. That's just like less than 6 months ago. And of course, they talked about within 10 years, they set goals. They want to integrate and teach glycoscience at every level for which it is relevant to understand scientific content. And one of those levels, they said they want glycobiology taught in every high school. Wow. So now, if every high school was teaching glycobiology, would you have more fun sharing Ambertose with people, right? They'd probably tell you what it was all about instead of you telling them. So it's exciting to see the progression and the importance of what we have in that one product called Ambertose. So what was the next step? Well, Mannatech has a whole series of real food technologies. In fact, they're well known for all their plant-based products because we don't want any synthetics, because it's hard to take a synthetic vitamin when you're already eating a synthetic diet. That cannot be what? It cannot be the proper response to try to get healthier by putting synthetics. So what Mannatech has done is they said, well, you know, we have this great product, we have this great product line, but let's take a next step. Let's get to the next generation. Let's put something together that's simple, unique, that anyone can take and everybody can afford. And so what they did is they built a product. Last year, it came out May 1st, 2012, that anyone can afford and everyone can take. And that product is called Nutriveris. It's a phenomenal product. It's a combination of all of Mannatech's patents. They have over 70 patents worldwide on their product lines. And this is a combination of all those that they've had in all those different countries. And what did they put in it? Of course, the same kind of representations we can make about this product because it has the ingredients that are coming out of our other products. But the important thing to understand is what's actually in it. It has the glyconutrients we saw in amber toast. So you have glyconutrient base in it. It has antioxidants, which are so important to help us protect against free radicals. And some of you in the audience were like me in the 60s and 70s. They called us free radicals too. Okay. I was at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. We just burned down the Army Math Research Center. And no, I was there the year afterward, thank goodness. But we still got tear gassed a few times. Anyway, so we have free radicals. Those aren't the free radicals I'm talking about. It's the free radicals that I'm talking about that we get by what we breathe, the toxicity that we have in our foods, our water, our air, that causes damage internally. And by the way, people, you know, that's the #1 cause of aging, is free radicals in our bodies. So you bet I want free antioxidants in my life. And it has vitamins and minerals, all from plants. Those all plant products, all plant-sourced vitamins and minerals. And those are critical for us because our bodies utilize them more effectively. And then a real food base of organic greens and rice bran. And that's another thing we don't get enough of is organic greens. It's critical for our diets. I was working with a gentleman the other day, and he looked at me and he goes, "I don't eat vegetables." And I looked at him, I said, "Did you want to pound your chest the same time you say that?" You know, I said, "I'm here to tell you, if you don't want to eat vegetables, that's okay by me. But then, you know what? This is the product you must take every day of your life." I mean, you can imagine. And he thought, "I'm so healthy." I said, "You're 35. What are you going to be like at 40? You know, I mean, this concept that I'm invincible. People, trust me. I'll introduce you to some people, and you can find out real quickly invincibility dissipates like that, right? So it's important to feed our body what it needs, and Nutriveris is a super product for everybody just to get that base nutrition so that you can feel confident and comfortable that you're getting those nutrients in your body every single day. So great products. So let's take the next step and say, you know, the other problem they saw was what? What's happening to our children? And they decided to take on malnutrition in a real way, just the way they took on health. And the founder actually had such a passion for orphans. In fact, he's never had any of his own natural children. He's adopted all of his kids. Isn't that? So this is a guy who walks his talk, right? I mean, he is the real thing, Sam Castor. And he started shipping these products from Mannatech over to orphanages all around the world. He started in Romania, and after the first year, they called him back and they said, you know, we usually have 10, 20% deaths during the winter months. We had 0. Keep that white powder coming. That's the amber toast, by the way. Isn't that a blessing? I mean, Sam felt so overwhelmed by the results. So he would start telling all of us as associates the results, and what happened to us? We all, hey, my favorite orphanage is in Haiti, mine's in Mexico, mine's in Brazil. And Sam was overwhelmed, so he established a foundation called Manna Relief to handle all the demands that we had to help these children at risk. And so Manna Relief was founded in 1999. Since the date it was founded, it's helped over 100,000 kids in over 80 different countries. And that's pretty awesome to have that kind of record in that short period of time. But it wasn't enough. Because what happened is Sam, 2.5 years ago, he was reading an article and he read this story about malnutrition in children. And he found out that malnutrition is the number one killer of children under the age of 6. That 5 million children die every year of malnutrition. So he looked at his 100,000, and then he thought about 5 million. And he goes, We're not even making a dent. So he went to the board of directors and he got them to adopt a new program. Without changing the prices of the products, of any of Mannatech's products, Mannatech adopted a program called Give for Real. And what is that program about? Let's take a peek at it. It's a mission to link 5 million consumers to 5 million children at risk. What does that mean? It means every time somebody buys our products, our company, Mannatech, is making a donation to help children at risk. So we can truly restore them back to health by adding nutrients to their diets. Because what they're shipping them now is only enriched grain-based cereal. Everybody get that? It's like 99.5% carbohydrates. No nutrients that are really necessary for that human body to survive. So these kids don't die of starvation, they die of malnutrition. And we're able to ship this powder now to these kids to add to those cereals so that they can thrive. And what a blessing that is. So it's, and like I said, what it is it's a matching donation program, much like Tom's shoes. Anybody have a pair of Tom's shoes? You know, every time you buy a pair of Tom's shoes, guess what happens? Tom's, the company, ships a pair of shoes matching to somebody in Argentina or Africa or whatever so they can have a pair of shoes. And that's a great thing, right? Great concept. And you know, that is so hot, especially with the young people. They love it. Everybody wants to have a pair of Tom's shoes because they feel like they're making a difference in the world, even if it's just in a small way. Well, I love Tom's shoes, but that's a far cry from helping to save a life, right? A pair of shoes, what would you rather have, a pair of shoes, or would you rather see a thriving child, right? I want the thriving child. So that's our program. Same concept. You buy any of our core technology products, and Mannatech matches it with a donation to help save a child. And I think the statistic now is I think we're over 40,000 children a month that are getting PhytoBlend powder. And it's because of all of you out there, all over the web, wherever you're dialing in from, and those of you who choose to step up with us and be a part of this mission. But when I say 40,000 people, we got 5 million. Do we have a little bit ways to go here? Exactly. That's why we got to get out there and work and get other people to see our vision. But that's the Give for Real program. It's awesome, and I just want all of you to be a part of it. So let's talk about real possibilities, because, you know, whenever you're out there working on a concept of a world problem, you also create an incredible possibility. Everybody agree with that? And Mannatech has an incredible opportunity. And what we do is we talk about it from a perspective that wealth is not something that is just motivated simply by us going out and earning money. How many of you have chased money in your life? Of course, we all have, didn't we? Especially, I remember right fresh out of law school, what did I do? I went out and I tried to get the best possible job, and you know, and you chased money because, well, for me it was because I lived in tattered shirts and pants for so many years as a college student, and I was just ready, okay, could I just buy a new pair of pants? You know, it was like, I just wanted to have some nice things for the first time in my life. So that's why we chase money. But the problem with money isn't chasing money, is the fact that money is never going to make you happy. And the idea of our definition is we talk about, we don't chase money. Simply, we don't go after things simply for personal gain. Wealth is created as a byproduct of achieving our mission. And that's how we define it. And that's how we look at Mannatech. That's who we are. So what do we actually do? How about our marketing strategy? Well, our marketing strategy is based on differentiating ourselves. You see, because there's a great book out there called Blue Ocean Strategy, and it fits perfectly with what we are as a company, because it talks about how to create uncontested market space and make your competition irrelevant. That's why the difference between red ocean and blue ocean. What's the red ocean? That's where I used to, that's my prior job as a lawyer. We were all sharks and we eat up each other every opportunity we got. And so when you do that in an ocean, you create a bloody ocean, right? It's red water everywhere. And that's what happens in the marketplace. People just eat up other people. They put other people out of business. Everybody's fighting everybody. Well, if you can create uncontested market space, you now are free of the blood in the water, and you've created yourself a blue ocean. Most companies create the red ocean strategy by what? They go out there, they choose one of two levels. They either choose the cheapest end of it, and they differentiate based on the cheapness of it. And who would you say that would be in our market today? Walmart. Walmart's a classic. In fact, somebody said to me just yesterday, I had a three-way call, and they said, well, Mary Jo, I'll send you what I'm taking right now, and you can tell me what the difference is between your products. And it gave me this laundry list of products. I'd never heard of the label before. I went on the internet, and it was Walmart's brand. So I didn't have much trouble with that, did I? No. In fact, I looked at all the synthetic ingredients, and I said, this is a no-brainer, right? So I could easily compare the two. But the reason is their vitamin supplement costs about $8 a month. Can you really get good vitamins for $8 a month? I suggest not. You get what you pay for. And that's Walmart. And then you have the one that goes on the high end. And who would that be? Like, let's say in the car industry, that would be our Lexus. They're on the high end. And so you can do that as well, but you still have competition on both, and people are still having problems at both levels. What Mannatech has done is, through value innovation, created products that meet everybody's need. And that's the important thing, is to distinguish yourself. So let's talk a little bit about what makes us distinct. Real food technology is one. As I said, we create everything from plants, so it's all natural. So let's look at that. We combine science and nature to produce the powerful nutritional supplements. When 95% of the supplements out there are synthetic, this is a true distinction. A second is our glyconutrient technology. We talked about that earlier, about ambertose, and being at the flagship product is at the core of that science of glycobiology. No one else has it. We have patented and protected. And here, Dr. John Rollins said, I believe the overall immune supporting potential of glyconutrients represents the best integrative health strategy that science has to offer. That's a pretty awesome endorsement. And there are many more out there, but that truly distinguishes us from any other company. And finally, our social entrepreneurship. This is our plan for global change. We're totally committed to ending global malnutrition. Some people might look at it and say, well, that's a pie in the sky. I said, no, it's not if you start today. Got it? You're just one. It kind of reminds me of that story about the kid walking along the beach who's throwing the starfish back in. You remember that? And the old man comes out and he sees these thousands of starfish on the beach, and he looks at this kid. He goes, what are you doing, son? And he says, I'm throwing the starfish back in because if I don't, they'll die. And the man looks at him and says, how can you ever expect to make a difference? There's millions of them on the shore. And the little boy bends over and he picks up a starfish. And he looks at the guy, he says, I made a difference for this one. And he tosses the starfish. That's what each one of us are doing every day. Otherwise, all those starfish will die. We can make a difference with what we can do, so let's go do what we can do. And that's our social entrepreneurship program, absolutely, for everybody. How can you participate in this? A couple ways. Number one, you can say, you know what, I want to help kids. Why not take a vitamin, mineral, or a nutritional supplement that's going to help save children? Is that what you're doing with your Walmart brand? I'm going to suggest you're not even helping save yourself with your Walmart brand, but you want to look at it and say, I want to take something meaningful for me that makes a difference as well as to a child. You can be a member, and you can actually get your products for free through the membership program. Or number two, you can join us and become a champion. And that means somebody who says, you know what, I want to champion this cause. I want to be a part of this and help change this world in an incredible way. And through that, you can earn a valuable income stream. And that's a choice you make of how much you want to earn. We have a great 12-month personal strategic plan, and I'm not going to go through it tonight, but you can ask the person who invited you, but it just goes, first month, what do you want, how do you want to get started? Then after 3 months, what's a goal? 6 months, another goal, 9 months, and 12 months. And there's some huge bonuses Mannatech put in place for you to meet these 12-month goals. And it's an awesome plan, and it's working, and it's fun to work with people because there are great results in it. Or you can work slowly. It's up to you. You make your choice on how fast you want to grow your own business. But all of that's available for all of you. So join us in that. There's another issue about the coming jobs war. Some of you might have read this book by Clifton. It's an incredible book that talks about entrepreneurship. Because today, how many people think we have new jobs are just flying off the assembly line in this country today? Not happening. In fact, we're seeing such a collapse of jobs that we're wondering about where's the income going to come. And it's all service industry jobs, so there's not a concept of stay-at-home mom anymore, right? So we have this huge problem going on in our society. And in this book, Clifton said, if we don't catch on, we're going to die. We're going to fall behind China. And whichever country is the economic strongest country in this world is the one that's going to be dictating policy for this world. Just like the U.S. has been spoiled for many years, being able to be that world leader. Can you imagine China being the world leader? So the idea is that where are they going to find the differences? He says it's going to be coming from entrepreneurs like you and me, the people that are out there creating jobs and creating opportunities for people to bring wealth back into people's lives. It's about us people. It's about the entrepreneurs of the world that are going to make that difference. So it's a choice. One thing is true in life for all of us. We're either making our own dreams come true, like I am, like many of you in the audience are doing, or we're working to make somebody else's dreams come true. And it's just a choice. Through entrepreneurship, you're choosing for your dreams to come true. So join us. This is our mission statement. Our mission is to fight global malnutrition by nourishing the world with real food technology supplementation while empowering and rewarding the lives of those who champion our cause. Be a champion. Trust me, every single day, we get notices of what the impact is that we're having on people's lives, and it's a big, huge smile and a big, huge thank you, Mannatech. So thanks, everybody, for being here.